Hi, my name is Tom Halpin, and I help companies grow their sales predictably. You know, when I'm in the marketplace talking to business owners and sales leaders, I've observed two common themes. The first is very few companies have a cohesive sales and marketing strategy in place to drive sales results. And the second is that most sales organizations have huge performance gaps. You've got your top producers, and then you have everybody else. So what I do is I introduce my clients to a demand generation framework to help them win business more consistently. And at the cornerstone of that framework is the sales engine. Let me define the sales engine for you. The sales engine is your company's total selling capacity, and it's made up of your sales team, the knowledge, skills, and disciplines of your sales team, a defined selling process, and the sales toolbox. Now what I've done is created a graphic to help you connect to this concept of the sales engine, and we're going to walk through it together. The first is lead generation. You have to feed your sales engine with lead generation. And so we're going to go through some common and emerging practices within lead generation, but the first thing I want to talk about is referrals, because it's the most powerful lead generation tool, but it's the one we disregard the most. The second is cold calling. It's a bit old school, but it's still necessary today to drive lead generation. Third, content marketing. This is, again, emerging and kind of new, but it's this idea that all brands today are publishers, and you want to market your specialized knowledge to attract the right audience and drive profitable action. Trade shows. In my opinion, an outdated institution with very little ROI, but most people are afraid not to do them. Search marketing. Another emerging area in lead generation, and it's this idea that Google today is the largest buying guide on the planet, and you need to position your company to be found. Print advertising, and lastly, email marketing. Fairly self-explanatory. Now, all lead generation comes through your website. Now, are there exceptions to that? Sure, but most lead generation today is going to go through your website, and what you want to happen there is you want to offer the visitor compelling content, a good user experience, and clear calls to action. And when you do that, you then create the opportunity for your visitor to self-qualify into the sales process or self-qualify out. If they self-qualify in, what you get is a new quality conversation, and we drop them onto the sales continuum. Let's talk about the sales continuum. You should see a scale that runs from 0 to 10. At 0, the prospect barely knows you, and at 10, they're actively doing business with you. Or 10 might mean you've moved the conversation through your selling process, and for whatever reason, it doesn't make sense to do business. If you direct your attention to the top of the sales continuum, you'll see I've segmented this into 3 zones. The first is the education and exploration zone. You get to know one another. If the conversation gets more serious, we move into the fit zone, and then we move into the decision-making zone. Now that's very elementary, but I think by and large in the B2B marketplace, this is how selling works. What we're trying to do is move as many new quality conversations through this process as possible to get to deal or no deal, and ultimately lifetime customer value. Very few businesses want orders, they want relationships, and that's the ROI of this sales engine. I referred earlier to the knowledge, skills, and disciplines of your sales team, and that translates into the sales team's ability to manage the conversation and to know what tools in their toolbox to interject to the conversation to advance it on the sales continuum. Your sales toolbox is made up of industry insights, case studies, presentations, demos, and maybe even your website. The trick with the sales team is them having the knowledge, skills, and abilities to know what tool to use in what conversation, depending on the complexity of the sale and the buyer persona they're selling to. And that, my friends, is the sales engine. And you may ask yourself, why is this important again? Well, 3 reasons really. First and foremost, sales predictability. Second, I referred to the performance gaps that exist in every sales organization I've ever been exposed to. By having one framework that your entire sales team can follow, you allow your sales leader to coach people up or out of the organization. And lastly, now that you have confidence in sales results that you're generating by having a sales engine in place, you can now go intelligently resource the rest of your business. So I hope you found this helpful and thought-provoking, and if you'd like to have an exploratory conversation with me about what it would look like to build a sales engine for your business, I'd love to talk to you.